Hi, students. I'm glad to be on with you. I know that we are in a difficult situation right now with the COVID-19. Hopefully, our president has lifted the last level, which was the most difficult one, to keep us strictly indoors. Let's hope with the level 4, we're going to have some kind of relaxation. I'm welcoming you to Mathematics for Foundation Phase Teachers, MFP1501. I am the lecturer for this module. My name is Mphahlele Sheila. My cell number, as you can see it on the screen, is 073-898-7987. I'm giving you the cell number because it's the number that I'm mostly available on, but you are welcome as well to use the landline, which is 012-429-4941. And my email address as well is on your tutorial letter and is also on the screen. It's emphahlere@unisa.ac.za. Most of you already, we are communicating on the email as well as on my UNISA. So keep up those who are communicating. I just want to quickly tell you about this module. This module is offered in a blended mode, which means that you get tutorial and you get activities online as well as by print. Remember, some of you have been asking questions to say, the activities on my UNISA compulsory? Partly, I can say they are compulsory because you need to have your print study guide. And also when you are on my UNISA, you are able to get feedback. For example, let's say you're having your print study guide at home. It has activities inside. When you're doing those activities, surely you'll just do them. You might not know whether you are on the right track or not. But if you do the activities online, you're likely to get feedback from me or from the e-tutors to say you are on the right track. Again, this is the second year module and it is on level 5 of the National Qualification Framework. You know that we do have NQF levels as they are stipulated by our South African Qualification Authority, SAQA. So now, how do we communicate in this module? You need to contact me on the following, either on my UNISA discussion tool. Some of you are already doing it. And those of you who are not doing it, please log on to my UNISA. You'll see a lot of discussion forums that have been created. Others are for assignment queries. Others are for learning activity queries. And then my email is repeated there, and the telephone number that I just mentioned earlier, 012-429-4941. Those of you who are going to be communicating via email, please always include your module name, your name and student number in the communication. The reason is that I am offering my services to 6 modules, and all these modules are mathematics modules. So when you just say assignment 1, question 1, all my assignments for the 6 modules have got assignment 1, question 1, all of them. So sometimes some of you might think I'm rude when I'm asking which module are you referring to, because some of you might think I'm only teaching MFP1501. I have other 5 modules other than MFP1501. This module, MFP1501, has got 7 learning units. You've seen that, I think, in the study guide. However, on my UNISA, we're still on learning unit 3. In 2 days' time, we will be moving to learning unit 4. So just keep in touch or keep logging on my UNISA. You'll see that on the 1st of May, we are going to upload learning activities for learning unit 4. But now you need to understand or know what these learning units are about. The first learning unit is about numbers and number system. The second one is about additive relations. The third one, multiplicative reasoning. The fourth one, fractions. The fifth one, patterns and relations. The sixth one, shapes, space and measurement. And the seventh one, data handling and probability. There's one thing I would like to clarify, especially with South African students. We, as South African students, you are aware that the CAPS document, which is a curriculum assessment and policy statement, is the national curriculum document that is used in South African schools. Bear in mind that UNISA does not only admit students from South Africa. We have students from other countries who are not using CAPS. So you will see that when you look at CAPS, especially when you check the content areas, you'll find that this module is not directly linked with the CAPS content areas. But this content areas does not mean that this module is not covering. It's covering them, but we didn't put them or outline them exactly as the CAPS document have, because we are catering for all students all over the world, except South African students only. So now that's one thing that I would like us to clarify, but it doesn't mean that when you do your assignments, you cannot refer to CAPS. You are welcome to do that, even when you do your teaching practice lessons. This module is linked with two teaching practice modules, which is TPF 2602 and TPF 3703. Yesterday, I created lessons for TPF 2602 and TPF 3703, where I'm taking you through the creation of learning resources and the creation of lesson plans, or the designing of the lesson plans. So please log on and check the TPF 2602 and TPF 3703. You'll see those lessons. Those of you who are doing, but I don't think students who are doing MFP 1501 are not doing TPF 3703. You are only doing TPF 2602. But come next year, you'll be doing TPF 3703, and then it will be a walk in the park for you guys. What are the outcomes of this module? Each and every learning unit in the study guide, it has got outcomes. But here, I just want to give you the overall purpose of this module. This module is created to equip you with skills to prepare for your classroom practice. You need to be able to plan lessons so that you can be able to support the lessons, the learners, I mean, in the classroom, and then you will be able to acquire mathematical skills and knowledge so that you can teach with confidence. I can also reiterate to you, as I did in the previous video, to say that we need to come out here when we become teachers and be proud to say we are teachers who are mathematically knowledgeable. We need to make sure that we are no longer classified as mathematics teachers who lack content. We need to come out confident knowing mathematics content. That's why I keep on giving you activities on my UNISA so that you are well equipped. This module will also help you to develop pedagogical content knowledge that form part of children's early development and beyond. Remember, we are teaching foundation phase teachers, foundation phase learners, I mean. But these learners are not just going to remain foundation phase learners. They will move to other phases. They are going to be intermediate phase learners. They are going to be senior phase learners. They are going to be FET learners. And later on, we want to see them at our universities. And we need to be proud and say, these learners, I taught mathematics. Let me quickly orientate you around other activities that you should know about this module. We do have online activities, which I just alluded to. They are found on our discussion tool on my UNISA. We do have a blog, and we do have also online assessments. And then this module as well have got formative assessments. Remember, with our online activities, I never put due dates. The reason being, it should be self-paced. This module is learner-centered. It means you decide when do you want to finish your learning unit 1 activities, for example. It's your choice. So whether you're going to do them in August or in September, as long as when you have to sit for your exams, you will be ready. Remember, we cannot be ready at the same time. That's why there is never due dates for these activities. However, the formative assessment, they do have due dates. The reason is that we need to be able to mark the assignments and give you feedback before you write your exams. It doesn't mean the online activities are not marked. I do mark the online activities as you do them. However, you need to bear with me because you are 2,700, actually more than 2,700 students. And before I was just alone. This month, they just employed 2 e-tutors that are helping me out. I think the workload will be much better. So I know some of you will be saying, but mine is not marked yet. Don't worry, it will be marked as you get to your exam period. You'll be having all the feedback that you need. So we do have assignment 1, which was due on the 14th of April. And thank you so much for submitting on time. Those of you who have submitted already, the assignment will be marked and you'll get feedback. And we do have assignment 2, which is due on the 23rd of June. My dear students, I would like us to also be aware that there have been messages that are going around to say assignments have been extended. I would like to caution you that if you really don't need this extension, just submit on the required due date because it's for your own good. Remember, when you submit online, mostly the extensions used to work this way. When you were given an extension, you wouldn't be able to submit online. You were going to post your assignment, which you were given an extension date to submit after the due date. But now, this year, we were cautioned that postal services are not going to be used. So it means it might be a challenge for you if you are supposed to submit the assignment after the due date. However, that is another hurdle that we'll deal with when we come across it. But I'm just saying to you, if really you don't need that extension, just submit during the time that it was required of you to submit. And then if you are experiencing any challenges with the assignments, I'm always available on the UNISA discussion tools, on my email, and on the telephone. We do have examination for this module, which is scheduled for the 28th of October. Due to the situation that the whole world is currently in, we are not sure if that date is going to be postponed or not, but we will also deal with that when that time comes. But you should just know that there is examination and there is also supplementary if you didn't do well in your examination. But the supplementary also, usually it is done in January the following year. I just spoke about the assignments, but one thing that I would like to emphasize, especially with assignment 1, which is multiple choice question assignment, you get questions that are differentiated. We do have level 1 questions as per Bloom's taxonomy. We do have level 2 questions, level 3 up to level 6. I think you've seen that. What I just want you to know is that the questions are classified as follows. We do have about 40% of our questions on level 1 and 2, which is low order level. And then we have 40% of our questions set on middle order level. And for the high order level is only 20%. So it means this assignment is not so difficult. And again, some of the questions for these multiple choice questions, I just made them to check for your engagement with the module. There were some of you who sent me emails to say they don't see the correct answer in the choices that I provided. I just did that deliberately because I wanted you guys to really engage in the module. Because if you just read the question, you go to the study guide, you get the answer quickly, you're not learning, and you might not even really engage with the concept that the question is based on. So I just wanted you guys to, as you go through and you don't find the correct answer, it will really compel you to go and double check in the study guide, try to do even some activities to see if really there is a correct answer or not. So I just did that deliberately for you to work. So don't worry. Some of those questions which didn't have the correct answer, I'll make sure that you all get a mark for that. We do have some challenges in this module, and some of the challenges are that some of you are not adhering to instructions. You find that there are clearly stipulated instructions, but you choose not to just follow the instructions, especially in the assignments and even in the online activities. I've noticed that. Again, some of you are not reading the chain of posts, because before you post your question or your query, if you check other posts, you can find that there are some of students who post the same query that you are posting and it was responded to. As a result, there will be no need for you to post the same. So most of you are posting same queries over and over, and I keep on giving same answers over and over. Some of you are worried about the marks for online assessments, to say if the marks are not going to form part of your year mark, what is the point for you to do the online learning activities? As I already indicated, that this module is blended. We have print, we have online. So it's up to you whether you focus on only the print or you focus on the online. And it's for your own good as well to say, when you practice and engage with other students, you get to know the content even more. Some of you are eager to complete assessments before familiarizing yourselves with the module, and that is very dangerous. I understand you tell me that you do have other modules that you are supposed to be doing, you don't have time. Remember, this is your future. If you want to go out there to be a teacher who will be incompetent in front of your learners, but having qualified as a teacher just because you just wanted to get your marks and pass, it shouldn't be about the marks. It should be about your career. Because really, for me, if you get your distinction and then you pass, but when you get to class, you are unable to prepare a simple lesson to teach maybe fractions or to teach probability, it's something that I don't know. It's something that I feel it's really not good. Because remember, after you've qualified, you cannot come back and say, I am going to learn this topic so that I can go back to my class and teach my learners. So coming to the presentation of today, because what I was giving now was just to orientate you around this module. Actually, this presentation is based on Learning Unit 1, Learning Unit 2, and Learning Unit 3 of this module. Remember, I said we have how many? 7 learning units. So we're just going to focus on the 3 for today. And then the Learning Unit 1, we're going to focus on number systems, structured images and support group counting, and decimal systems and place value. Remember, there are other topics in the study guide, but for the sake of this presentation, we're just going to concentrate on the 3 in the Learning Unit 1. And then in the Learning Unit 2, we have additive relations, interpretation of addition and subtraction, progression from early counting into addition and subtraction. And Learning Unit 3, multiplicative reasoning, multiplication, developmental stages of multiplicative thinking, and division. Learning Unit 1, I think you are familiar with the picture that you see is the picture that is there in the study guide, which is introducing you to Learning Unit 1. So the Learning Unit 1 revolves around number and number systems. As you can see, it's in the middle. So these others are the topics which are going to be covered in the Learning Unit 1. So for the Learning Unit 1, this is the content that you should be focusing on. Firstly, you're going to learn about numbers, mostly the types of numbers, and you learn about counting. We do have ordinality and cardinality of counting numbers. We have stages of early number learning. We have structured images that support group counting. We have decimal systems and place value. Under decimal systems, we're going to be focusing on There's 10 blocks, number line, and the use of arrow cards. So now, students, in the Learning Unit 1, we do have activities in the study guide, and then which I hope you get yourself time to do those activities. You are welcome to bring your queries about those activities to the discussion tools, and then I will respond to your queries. Now, this Learning Unit 1 already, I created activities on my UNISA. So quickly, I'm going to take you to my UNISA so that you can be able to see those of you who didn't log on to my UNISA to see what is it that I'm talking about. I hope now on your site, you are able to see the my UNISA site. I'm just waiting for your signal, Manda.
Yes.
Is it fine? I can go on.
Absolutely.
Okay. So when you get to my modules, you can see on my site, I do have other modules that I'm doing, but for now we're focusing on MFP 1501. You need to click on Learning Unit 1, as I'm doing right now. When you click on Learning Unit 1, you will see that introduction part which I just showed you on the previous slide. So now, when you go to the activities, the first activity is on ordinality and cardinality. When you click there, you will find this information where I'm explaining to you that there are two distinct different ways of thinking about counting numbers. And then I'm explaining that they are ordinality and cardinality. So in this case, you are supposed to watch the video. This is the video that I'm talking about. You just click on the video and then you watch this video. And then if you don't want to click on this video itself, there's a link here which is having a red text. It says, watch this video about 5 principles of counting. If you click on the red text, you will still be directed to the video. So I'm not going to watch this video with you now because I know you'll watch it at your own time. It's not very long. I make sure that most of the videos are not more than 10 minutes. So you watch the video. When you are done watching the video, the most important thing is that I would like to see your reflections about this video. Then you're going to go to discussion. It's either you can click on this red text that says discussion so that it can direct you straight to the discussions, or you can come to this menu and click on discussions. When you click on discussions, you will see that there are many discussion forums that I created there. But what are you looking for? You'll be looking for ordinality and cardinality. Then you click on that ordinality, and then you're going to give your reflections. As you can see now, some of you created their own little forums under my forum. And it's something that I'm really cautioning you against, to say it might mislead other students. And when I'm coming to mark your information, it is difficult for me to get into each and every forum which is there, because my forum is the one with 305 messages. So these other forums are created by other people. And please, in future, don't do that. Just come into the forum that I created and then respond to the question. The question here, if some of you haven't responded yet, because you can see I only have about 305 responses, and I said you are more than 2,700. So I'm still expecting more than 2,000 of you to respond to this activity. So now I have instructions here to say, from the video you watched about 5 principles of counting, kindly reflect on the video by answering the following questions. These are the questions. For you, it's just to click on reply. And when you click on reply, you will get this space here where you can type your response. And then after typing your response, you click on publish. And then you will see that your response will appear on this. You see this chain of messages are from other students which already responded to this activity. So now, after you did this activity, you go back to the learning unit 1. When going back to the learning unit 1, it's either you can click where it says learning unit 1, or you can just go back on top there. So let's go back to learning unit 1, and then we're going to complete all these activities for learning unit 1. When you are done with this one on the discussion tool, you click on stages of any early number learning. Then you'll find other information regarding stages of early number learning. And then this one is having 2 activities, where in the first activity, you have to do it again in the discussion tool. You'll follow the same route as I indicated with the previous activity. And then the new thing here, which you're going to do, is the block. So the second activity, you're going to click here, and then it will take you to the block. Most of you indicated that they were finding it difficult to use the block. I created another lesson here, which I'm pointing at now, which shows you how to use the block. When you click it, it will give you short instructions on how to post on your blog. So go through that instruction, and then you will know now how to go to the blog and post. And the blog is this one. You will see on your side, when you go through this long menu here, you'll see the blog. When you click on the blog directly, you will see the menu for the blog, where you'll be able to create a post, or you will go to your blog, and then as long as now you have gone through the instructions on how to use the blog, and you'll be able to navigate this space of the blog. So we're going back to the learning unit 1. I hope some of you who didn't do it, you'll do it. You'll go to the blog, and as well, I've put a tab here for you so that it's easier to go to how to use a blog without going to the menu itself. And then when you are done, now we go to decimals and place value. There's also information about place value and decimals, but the most important thing here, I've put 3 videos. These 3 videos that you need to watch. The first video is about arrow cards, the second one about base 10 blocks, the third one about the number line. And then after watching these videos, you are going to give your reflections. And then where do you give these reflections? You give the reflections down here, where you just click on this page. This page has been giving some of you some problems, even myself. Sometimes when I click on it, it says this page has not yet been created. But believe you me, it has been created. I don't know. Sometimes when I come back to it, it is coming out nicely. So I'm going to make things easy for all of us so that we don't struggle anymore. I'm quickly now creating for you a comment tool so that you just comment on the comment tool without hassle. Just click on add comment here, and then you type your reflections, and then you will be fine. So you no longer have to struggle with that student page that is not opening. So already I did add comment there. Just click there, those of you who didn't respond to this activity yet. So now it means we are done with our learning unit 1. When you finish this, it means you are done with the learning unit 1. The last activity, the activities are about decimal system and place value. So now when you are done, there's another thing that you need to do in the learning unit 1 before you sign off your learning unit 1. This is student reflection. I would like you to click on student reflection. It's a Microsoft form which you need to complete about your experience of this learning unit. And then you'll find questions there and respond. Some of you already have responded. I think I've got about more than 50 students who already responded on the student reflections. And then I thank you, those who have responded. So I'm going to switch now over to the presentation itself so that I check as to where are we with regards to the presentation. Please bear with me for that. Can I check with you, Mandla, is the presentation on?
Yes, yes.
Okay. When I left the presentation going to the My UNISA portal, I was on Unit 1 activities, and then we completed that on My UNISA portal to say the last thing that you have to do there, you need to complete the reflection form. And on this presentation, there is a link to the reflection form if maybe you struggled to get the link on My UNISA platform. So now we're moving over to Learning Unit 2. With the Learning Unit 2, I'm going to switch over again to My UNISA so that I take you through the Learning Unit 2 on My UNISA portal. Are we sharp?
Absolutely.
Are we okay on Learning Unit 2 on My UNISA portal? When you are there, then you click on Learning Unit 2. You can see the introduction is still the same, as well as in the study guide. So you will read the learning outcomes because they will help you to understand what is it that you need to achieve at the end of this module. So the first activities are about additive relations. So you click on the additive relations. The first thing that you will come across there is that you need to complete a quiz, which is about additive relations. You will click on the red text which says click here. When you click there, it will take you straight to the quiz. Some of you have completed the quiz already. Thank you so much. But those of you who did not complete the quiz, please do so. And then when you are done with this quiz, then we come to other activities for Learning Unit 2. The first one is Join Problem Type. When you click on Join Problem Type, you will see that the first thing you come across is a video. You can click on that video, you watch the video. The video is about Join Problem Type. And when you are done watching the video, you need to go on your Microsoft Word document, and then you create a table the same way as the one which I put there, where you'll have problem type, word problem context, and numerical. Another thing that I would like to tell you is that you are not forced to always type. If, for example, you are using a cell phone, I realize that some of you are getting on My UNISA using a cell phone, so getting to Microsoft Word document might be difficult. You can just take a blank page, your pen and your ruler, and then you create this table, and then you write your responses. When you are done, take your phone and then scan your answers, and then you upload on the My UNISA discussion tool. So that I've realized after setting up this that there are students who do not have laptops or computers who cannot access Microsoft Word to type their work. So you are welcome to handwrite, and then when you are done, you scan with your phone, and then you upload. Then you will be able to get it. But you need to explain to us that the reason why you didn't do on Microsoft Word is because you handwritten your work. So again, when you click on this link here, which is written in red, you are able to be directed to the discussion tool. I'm not going to go back again to the discussion tools because I've shown you with the Learning Unit 1 how we get to the discussion tool. And then when you get to the discussion tool, you are going to upload this document. Some of you already are familiar with uploading the documents, but some of you who are not familiar, maybe let me just quickly go to the discussion tool and show you quickly. However, I think that won't be necessary. I just remembered now to say the previous video, which I did on the TPTube, has got the instructions on how to upload. So go and watch that video if you're still struggling to upload the documents on the discussion tool. Because if I repeat things over and over, I think this video will be longer than expected. So when you are done with this one, you go to separate problem type. The separate problem type, again, you have information which is explaining a little bit about separate problem types. And then the most important thing is that you are having an activity for this topic, which now you're going to do on online assessment. Where is the online assessment? When we go again to our main menu, where I'm moving the cursor right now, you will see online assessments. So when you click on the online assessment, you will get the quiz. And for me now, because I'm the one who created it, I've got my working copies and the published copies. So I'm clicking on the published copies right now. You will see we do have the one that is say separate type problem new. Already 667 of you have participated in this, and I thank you very much. Those of you who didn't do, remember I said how many you are? More than 2,700. So we still have a long way. Then initially I created this quiz, and I didn't set it up to be marked immediately as you do it. And then after 83 of you have done it, I realized that it will give me a hard time of marking manually. That's why now I had to close this one and then create a new copy of it, so that as you take the quiz, you get your marks immediately. So it marks, and then you get your points immediately to show how you worked. So thank you very much for about 700 of you, because when I add 677 and 83, it shows that you are more than 700 who participated in this quiz, and I hope it helped you a lot. We are back to the learning unit 2. And then when you are done with the assessment, the online assessment, you go to the part whole, which I think is the last activity for this learning unit. I gave you a sample here, a sample of a table to say, look at it. And as you look at this sample, you need to refer to the other one, which is in the study guide. And then when you are done, you are going to illustrate for me how you will do the same or similar information. How are you going to put similar information for the grade 1s, the grade 2s, and the grade 3s for the whole unknown and the part unknown? So meaning that this activity, I requested you to complete it on the PowerPoint presentation, wherein on your slide 1, I'll see the grade 1 information, slide 2, the grade 2 information, and slide 3, the grade 3 information. And then when you are done, you click on this link here, which is here written in red, to take you to the discussion tool, where now you can upload your PowerPoint presentation. Most of you have done that already. Those of you who didn't do, I think it's important so that we can see how well do you understand this concept part whole. The thing is, these activities at the end, they will help us when we go to revision part, when we're revising for exams, because I will be able to understand which parts are you struggling with most, and then we will emphasize that during the revision period. When we are done with this one, the last one is compare. So when you are in compare again, I requested you to read page 29 to page 33 of the study guide, wherein you will see study table. You will see the table 2.3 in that study guide. And then again, you compare it with this one, which is on a lesson tool. Then when you comparing these two figures, you need to go to the blog. Remember again, if you forgot how to use the blog, we still have a tab here where you can go and remind yourself how do you use a blog. And then you're going to post your reflection on the blog. I keep on thinking that is the last thing. Let me not even say the last anymore. Let me just go on, and then we'll see which one is the last. Then we go to the progression in the teaching of additive relations. With the progression of the additive relations, you have an information there which is extracted from the study guide. If you read the study guide, you'll find the same information. But what is important here is that I would like you to focus on level 4, which is about bridging through 10. In the study guide, it is explained that this is a situation where a move is made to non-count by ones. This is a strategy by using 10 as a benchmark. So now, this is part of the pre-knowledge for bridging through 10. And then this is a consolidation of number bonds and add to 10 activities that are required. So now, when you have your learners in the classroom, you should be able to say to the learners as a repeat call, that is, if I have 7, I need 3 to get to 10. Or if I have 5, I need 5 to get to 10. Or if I have 4, I need 6 to get to 10. This is what your learners should be able to understand as a base. So now, you go to Microsoft Word document. If you can be able to get to Microsoft document, remember I said, if you are unable, just take a blank sheet with your pen, sit down and write. And later on, you will scan and upload with your phone. And then you show us how you're going to teach learners to work out 34 plus 92 and 52 minus 29. Using what? The knowledge that you've gained from the study guide about bridging through 10. With this activity, I want you to be creative. Be as creative as you can. Make use of pictures, make use of drawings, make use of number line if you want. And what is most important, show me all the steps of your teaching and what learners will be doing. Remember, teaching and learning is about you as a teacher, teaching the learners, and also about the learners doing what? Learning. So I would like to see your teaching activities and the learning activities. Then you upload that on the discussion tool, and then the forum is labeled additive relations. Some of you already have responded. We can check quickly how many of you have responded to this activity. It is called additive relations. I think it's number 1, additive relations. Only 46 of you already have responded. I think you can see on the screen right now, only 46 out of how many? More than 2,700. So please, students, let's work on these activities. It's for our own good. So let's go back to the learning unit 2 quickly. I think it's helping when I show you also the statistics so that you know yourself who, if you didn't do it yet, you will know that I have to do this. So indeed, this was the last activity for our learning unit 2. Maybe let me not go back to the presentation. Let me just go to learning unit 3 so that when I go back to the presentation, we are done with the learning units on my UNISA. Again, is the same as in your tutorial letter. You'll find the introduction, which looks similar to the one in the tutorial letter. And then with the learning unit 3, we've got more topics as compared to learning unit 1 and learning unit 2. But we tried to make sure that we don't give you many activities, because we understand that time is really something precious and expensive for every student. Every minute count. So now, this learning activity.
Sorry, Doctor, just to intervene. Please,
okay.
switch to the learning unit you are referring to?
Okay, it's learning unit 3. We are on learning unit 3 now.
Okay, because now
We are on learning.
on this my UNISA portal.
Yeah, on my UNISA, because I just indicated that I'm not switching to the presentation yet, because I thought going to the presentation, coming back here, it is wasting a bit of time. I finish with the learning units on my UNISA. Then when I go to the presentation, then I'm just gonna wrap up.
No problem, thank you.
Okay. This is learning unit 3. I was just saying that learning unit 3, I created it together with the e-tutors. When we started the learning unit 3, that's when our e-tutors were just employed by UNISA. Their contract started on the 1st of April. So that's why you'll see in this learning unit, there are some instructions. Most of the time you were requested to also work on the e-tutor side. Those of you who are grouped, because not all of you are grouped. I think about 700 of you are not grouped with the e-tutors. So don't worry. Those of you who are not grouped, you still work with me or on the main side. And those who have e-tutors, you respond on the e-tutor side. It doesn't mean that what you do in the e-tutor side is different. Me and the e-tutors are making sure that we prepare same things and then we present to you same things from the same study guide. So now, developmental stage of multiplicative reasoning. This is the first part of our learning unit 3 activities, wherein I gave you the steps. I gave you this figure, which indicates step 1, step 2, step 3, up to step 4. And then please make sure that you read this information first before you even attempt to do any activity. So the activity number 1, which you are supposed to do for this learning unit, you need to introduce multiplicative reasoning to your grade 3 learners. Isn't it? You're going to teach from grade R to grade 3. Some of you, I think, are going to just focus on grade 1 to grade 3. So now, how are you going to introduce this to your grade 3 learners? I would like you to use this figure, which has got 4 steps, to write a narrative similar to the one which is on page 37 to 38. Remember, when we say similar, we don't mean same. Similar, same. No, not the same, but similar. Remember that. This one, unfortunately, you have to do it on Microsoft Publisher, but I don't want to also exclude those who cannot access computers to get Microsoft Publisher. You can still do it by your hand, it's fine, as long as you become creative and show that this is a brochure. Design a brochure with your, with your blank page. And then those of you who can access Microsoft Publisher, I would like you to go and get a brochure template and then do this activity and upload it on the discussion forum. I think some of you might ask yourselves, why am I doing this to you guys? To say, do your activities on Microsoft Word, on PowerPoint presentation, and on Publisher. This is what we call integrating technology into teaching and learning. Some of you, I think, in your schools, you'll be requested to integrate technology into your teaching and learning. By plugging your laptop to a data projector and presenting a lesson to the learners, it's not fully integration of your technology in the teaching and learning. For you to pat yourself at the back and say, I'm integrating, is when your learners are also able to use this technology to respond to the activities. Like now, you already used Microsoft Word document, you used a PowerPoint. Some of you students used PowerPoint for the first time when you were doing these activities, because I got some queries to say, how do I get Microsoft PowerPoint? How do I get that template? Then it showed some of you, and I can even bet that Some of you are going to be using Microsoft Publisher for the first time when you're doing this activity, because what else will you use Microsoft Publisher for? Because most of the time we prefer to use Microsoft Word and the PowerPoint. And PowerPoint, you use it if maybe you are invited to do any presentation somewhere, or if you're going to present in the class. But other than that, most of us don't really use PowerPoint often. When you are done uploading this activity on your discussion tool, which we've given the name of the discussion tool. Remember, when you are on Learning Unit 3, make sure that when you get to the discussion tool, you look for Learning Unit 3. When you are doing Learning Unit 2 activities, you look for Learning Unit 2, because you might find that you'll send me a message to say you can't find that forum. So you will only find it if you click on Learning Unit 3, if you are working on Learning Unit 3. So we do have activity number 2, and here is the message which I was referring to say some of you have been grouped under e-tutors. Please work well with the e-tutors, because I'm also working so well with them, and we are a team. So with the activity 2, you were requested to read about developmental stages of multiplicative reasoning on page 38 to 48 of your study guide. You see now, we're still using our study guide. On the other hand, we are online. That's why we said UNISA currently is on blended mode. Here we requested you to write a scenario on each developmental stage to describe a child who is at multiplicative reasoning stage. And then again, when you are done with your scenario, tell us how would you support such a child to progress to the next phase. And then where do you do this? You do it as well in the discussion tool. And then if you have an e-tutor, go to your e-tutor site and do that. I think this is very simple, and some of you already have been responding so well to these activities. I still say to you, those of you who did not, you are missing out. Please join us. And then when you are done, when you are here, is either you can choose to click on multiplication situations here, or you can choose to click on next. This button below here, which is next, it means you can go to the next page. Or if you feel that you want to refer back, there's another button here which is written back. You can click and go back. So now let's click next and go to multiplication situation. With the multiplication situations, we've given you a video to watch. But before you watch this video, we requested you to go through pages 42 to 46 of the study guide. And then when you are done with that pages, that's when you can click on this video and watch. It's a very short and nice video. And then when you are done, then you go to the block. Remember, if you forgot again how to use a block, we do have instructions there. You just go to that tab, you click, and then you remind yourself how to use the block. And then on the block, you will be responding to these 5 questions. I think it's an easy one. Already we know how to use a block, and I think it's exciting. And I also request that as you go and post your blog, read other people's blogs and respond on their blogs, because this is meant to be an engagement for all of us. And me and the e-tutors will also be visiting your blog posts, and you will be giving our views about them. So when you are done here, then we go to developing efficiency with multiplication situations. The goal of this section is indicated in the study guide. Please make sure that always when you log on, you have your study guide either opened on the screen, or you can have it, if you have the hard copy, have it next to you so that you refer time and again. Because here we are asking you to read page 47 to page 54 of the study guide, and then you need to complete the activity inside the study guide first. And then Here we have a test for you. Hey, Pella, we are in the class. I told you that this My UNISA site is our classroom. We don't have a physical classroom where we can sit and interact, but here we are interacting. This is our classroom. We are in the classroom. Now we are taking a test. Hey, we haven't had a test in Learning Unit 1 and in Learning Unit 2, but here in Learning Unit 3, we have a test. But this is an online test. With this online test, I said to you, click here. When you hover your mouse on here, you'll see that it has got a hand that is saying this is hyperlinked. When you click there, you will get, you'll be directed to the test. And then again, if you click on this link, it will direct you as well to the test. I'm tempted to say, can I show you? So far, some of your students, some of you have taken the test and their points are really looking good because I marked a few so far, this test, and some of you did very, very well. And then some of you didn't do the test yet. Please do it. I'm just gonna click on it and see if I can be able to share the screen of this test with you. And Mandla on the other side will tell me, it says something went wrong. Maybe it's going to be coming. It can't allow me now because it says my response has been created yet. Don't worry, I'll go straight to the forms because I'm the creator of the form, and then I'll just show you the statistics there and how other students are doing. I'll do it before the end of this presentation. So let's go to the division situation. With the division situation, we are saying to you, it is important, especially at foundation phase level, to start teaching division with simple context. We shouldn't be abstract yet with foundation phase learners. For example, when you say to the learners 15 divided by 3, a foundation phase learner might just raise the eyebrows and say, what are you saying, ma'am? So now we need to make sure that we simplify this as simple as possible so that our learners do not hate mathematics. Remember, most of the learners start to hate mathematics at foundation phase level because they feel mathematics is difficult. So it's our duty now as teachers to make sure that we make it simple and we make it enjoyable for them. Here, I just gave you some pictures of oranges to say sharing 15 oranges among 3 friends so that each one can get the same number of oranges. So I've illustrated this with the picture that you see on the screen, wherein at the end of the day, it shows that each one will get 5. But now, when you go and read page 54 to page 57 of the study guide, and then you complete the activities on the discussion tool so that we can see how simple you can get in teaching learners division so that they love this mathematics. So we have this activity where you have number 1, and then it has got A, B, number 2, A, B, C, D, and then number E as well. So please do this activity, work on Microsoft Word. Again, if you cannot work on Microsoft Word, just write on a clean sheet and then scan and upload on the discussion tool. Okay. Apologies, student, we had some glitch here. We are on division situation. With division situations, I'm saying to you, it is important, especially at foundation phase level, to start teaching division with simple context instead of being too abstract. For example, here I'm giving an example of oranges where we're going to solve 15 divided by 3. Imagine if you get to a grade 1 or grade 2 or grade 3 class and say to the learners, tell me, what is 15 divided by 3? What will happen to the learners? They will look at each other, they will look at you, they will look up in the sky, they won't be able to give you an answer. But if we make it exciting and we make it to their context that they understand, it will be fun and they will love mathematics. So now I just gave this picture of oranges so that you can be able to see what I mean when we're saying to be in their simple context. So here they are on the picture, there are 15 oranges, and then we divide them by 3. And then here they are grouped into 3 groups, and then it means each person is going to get 5 oranges. So now you are requested to read page 54 to page 57 in your study guide, wherein you'll find other activities that are guiding you on how to do these division situations. Most importantly, we are giving you this activity, which you need to do on your Microsoft Word and upload it on your discussion tool. And then on the discussion tool, you'll find a forum that is named division situations. That is where you're going to upload this activity. Remember, you can write by hand, you can type on Microsoft Word, as long as at the end of the day, you did this activity. It has got 2 questions. The first question have got A, B. The second one have got A up to E. And then I think as you will be doing this activity, you'll be excited. I just want to click quickly on the discussion tools to show you the topic I'm talking about, which is division situations. When you get to this discussion tool, always you'll see these many forums, but here you need to go to where? Learning Unit 3. When you click on Learning Unit 3, you'll find the division situations. Again, some of you are creating their own forums in this forum. I hope it won't confuse some of the students, and I'm still pleading with you guys who are creating their own forums in here to say it is not allowed. When we get to Learning Unit 4 and you still do this thing, I'm going to delete your forums and your work won't be marked. I'm still lenient with you now. I'm just asking you nicely that stop creating your own forums. Just click on division situations. The one that is created by me is the one which has got 14 responses inside it. And then you upload your work. Because as you create many forums, other students will end up putting their work into your forums. And remember, this is for division situation, a work wherein I'm expecting you to upload. Some of you have uploaded, if you can see, there's a Word document that is uploaded at the corner there, and then we are going to mark those documents. And then if you're not following instructions, we will not mark your work. So we're still on Learning Unit 3. When you are done with this activity, you can go on to Developing Efficiency with Division Calculation. Is either you can click this tab or you can click Next. So whether you click here on the Developing Efficiency tab or you click on Next, you'll still be directed to the next page. And then here, Developing Efficiency with Division Calculation, we are giving you the goal of this section, which is to explore different mental images that can help with efficient division calculations. So in this section, we begin with a discussion of having as pre-knowledge of division. I think every learner, even ourselves, when we were still in school, when we first learn about division, we've learned that is half of something. When you divide something, you first make sure that it is in half. We used to buy loaves of bread, and then you take the bread, you cut it into half, then you divide equally between maybe 2 people. We are requesting you to go to the discussion tool, and then if we are saying here, those who with e-tutors, we still requesting you that please work in the e-tutor site. And then if you don't have e-tutor, don't worry, I'm still your lecturer and your e-tutor at the same time. I'm 2 in 1. And then you're going to find a forum that is labeled Halving as Pre-Knowledge of Division. And then you use that to record an audio clip. You record yourself explaining halving as pre-knowledge of division. One of you can say, how do I record myself? Hey, dude, it's getting nice. You can use your smartphone to record yourself. You can use a tape recorder to record yourself. You can use your laptop to record yourself. Either way, as long as at the end of the day, you can take that audio clip that you recorded and then you upload it on the forum. And then we're going to listen to your nice voices talking to those little souls of foundation phase. Please, on the audio clip, speak like a teacher, speaking to foundation phase learners. You know how foundation phase teachers speak, isn't it? We're going to hear that. We are practicing to be foundation phase teachers, and the practice starts here. Again, you read page 58 to page 62, and then you complete the activities in the study guide. Remember, I said most of the time, for example, if you opt to just work on the activities in the study guide, seldom you'll get feedback from those activities, especially if you won't bring them to my UNISA. If you just do them at your own time at home, it will just be that you did them and then you might not even know if you are on the right track. But when you are done here with the activities, we urge you to go online assessment and take the assessment that is labeled efficiency with division calculations. If you can remember, when I was on the online assessment earlier, I'm going to click again on the online assessment. We found that there were 3 assessments. Mandla?
Sorry?
Are you able to see the assessments?
Yes, the 3 assessments.
On your side?
Yes.
Yes. So this assessment, which is efficiency with division calculations, is the one with 78 people who submitted already. I'm going to remind you again, how many are we? We are more than 2,700. So can you see that most of you still want to take the assessment? And I thank 78 of you who already participated in this assessment. And I'm saying, well done to you. I'm going back to Learning Unit 3, where we were talking about developing efficiency with calculations. So it means after you took that assessment, it means you'll be done with Learning Unit 3. And then we should wait for the Learning Unit 4 on the 1st of May. It will be up and it will be exciting. So I'm switching back to the presentation wherein I can wrap up our work. So Manja,
Yes.
you will tell me if I'm good.
Yes,
on the presentation.
Yes, I can see the
presentation is up. Since I left the presentation on Learning Unit 2, I'm just going to go through quickly because we did this on the My UNISA site. Now it means we are on consolidation. And then I'm consolidating this presentation, but before I do that, I promise that I will quickly take you guys to the online test so that you just see how the online test look like. So can I just quickly make sure that I go there so that you see the online test, those of you who didn't see it. And I don't know, I will hear from you if you are able to access the online test. And if you find it difficult, you will still communicate and then we will see how best we can assist each other. So I'm quickly going to the online test on Microsoft Forms, just to show you even other activities, like we have a quiz that was also taken on the Microsoft Forms. So it's still going there, Mandla.
Yes.
You'll bear with me a little bit. I think we will be done with the presentation very soon. I'm on the Microsoft Forms. I don't know if I should change the sharing. Can I do the new share and share the forms? I think it is this one. Can you see the Microsoft Forms, Manda?
No, yes, now they just appeared.
Okay.
Yes.
My students, as you can see on the Microsoft Forms, we do have different forms here. We've got multiplication calculations. It shows that it has got 33 responses yet. And then we've got ordering and comparing fractions. No one has responded yet. We've got additive relations already. 195 of you have responded. And thank you so much. I clap hands for you. 195. It's a very good number. And then for the students' reflection on study unit 1, I only have 41 responses. Students, you really need to up your game when it comes to the student reflections, because we want to know how well did you converse with learning unit 1, so that we shouldn't assume when we go to other learning units. And the test, let me check the test. The test, I think, is is this one with 33 responses, the multiplication calculations. So it's a very nice test, very simple. It has got 26 points. I'm just going to...
Now it is not showing the test. We can't see the test you are referring to.
You can't see the test. Okay, let me try to share again. I think I need to share this one. Do you now see the test?
Yes. How many fingers? How many?
Yes,
fingers?
the one that it's a very easy test. I just wanted to show you, student, that you don't have to be afraid when you see the word test and think there should be a picture that appears here, but now my system is very slow. And then there's another picture here where you'll be giving how many pods in a row, how many legs, and so forth. And then there are other questions. The pictures are not coming. Maybe it's because I've opened many things on my screen. That's why it is slow to show. But the good part is already I've got 33 of you who have responded. And then the average score is 6.2. And some of the people who responded did very well. So this one, I mark it manually. After completing, sometimes you'll get a message to say you've got 0 points. Don't worry about that. It's because I'm still going to mark. So now I'm switching to the presentation again so that we can consolidate. It has been a long day, and I don't also want you, when you watch this video, to get bored because of it being very long. I'll make sure that in future, when we do maybe learning unit 4, I cut the presentation short. Maybe we're just gonna do learning unit 4, and then next time we do only learning unit 5. This presentation was long because we did 3 learning units at the same time. The thing is, we didn't have time since January, and coronavirus happened as well. So we are forced to make sure that we cover a lot of things in a short space of time. I think you'll bear with us for that. So Mandla, is the presentation on right now? We are on consolidation.
Yes.
On the slide.
Yes.
Okay. So here I just wanted to reiterate again to say those of you who are grouped under e-tutors, please complete the activities under e-tutor side, and let's work together with the e-tutors. They are very nice 2 ladies. I work so well with them, and I hope you'll also enjoy working with them as much as you enjoy working with me. I assume that you enjoy working with me. I don't know. I might be flattering myself, but I'm just assuming that you are enjoying the work with me. And then we do have the online test and online assessment. And then I'm just repeating again that as you get the points, don't worry, because if it's not yet marked, it might say to you, you are on 0 points. After we marked, then you'll get the correct points. And as I mark, I also give you the feedback of the correct answers. For the next time, we are going to start with Learning Unit 4. I'll arrange with Mr. Hlengani here. He's a very good guy who helped me through this presentation to say maybe very soon we should just do a presentation on Learning Unit 4 only. And then I think that can take us about 15 to 20 minutes or even less so that we don't overload you with lots of information on one video. And then I was hoping that the next presentation I'll do Learning Unit 4 up to Learning Unit 7, but seeing that it takes long, I think we rather maybe focus on Learning Unit 4, have a short presentation, and next time have Learning Unit 5. Please keep busy with the activities online. I hope for now they are enough to keep you busy, and I enjoy working with you. Like I said, I assume that we also enjoy working with me. I love you all. More than 2,700 of you. There is my love.